Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Operation Monster Force, the JoeFest exclusive, Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser. This is the, hold on, I lift these glasses because God knows I can't see anything. The EDS, the Electronic Detection Stealth Mode. Now, basically what he's going to say, I'm not going to read this because you guys have all seen me read in my live streams. It's cringe. Anyway, basically all this guy is, when he can't go in full invisibility, he can use a different mode that he has, but it leaves him kind of, it keeps him so you can see him to the naked eye. So once he goes in this mode, he can't be detected by like the predator, like heat sensors, different things like that. But there is a trace of him that you can see. So this is how he came, just in a bag. We haven't got this version, and just so you know, once I open it up, this is not the exact version that we're going to get for the main figure. He has a different overlay where the one that we're going to be getting in the actual box has a different, I think, a different set of weapons and a different overlay. So we're going to take a look at them. I also have the purple one, which was the Toylanta exclusive, I believe, or JoeLanta. I don't know. Their names are almost the exact same, run by the same people. It's basically the same content. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's take a look at it. But if you like what I'm doing, you like what I see, you like all this Operation Monster Force stuff that I've been dropping, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. All right, so I got them out of the bag, and there you can see the optically compromised eraser, the purple one. I really like the purple translucent. I think it looks really nice, but I'll be honest, I really like the smoky one probably a little bit more, just the color. It seems to fit more in what you can do with photography. That guy, I mean, he's purple, so, but it looks cool. Anyway, we'll start off with the accessories, and we'll start off with this translucent stand. Now, you guys know my feelings on stands. I'm not a big fan of stands. I don't think that they're needed. You can stand figures. I got figures standing on 1 foot on my desk and stuff that I'm using. Anyway, this is the same one that we've been seeing for quite some time. I'm okay with it as a backdrop here for the most part here. You can see this is Operation Monster Force. It is a tombstone. It's got 2 pegs right there, and this one is translucent to go with the this figure. So you can lay it down here, you can put a figure in there, or you just stand it like that. That's what I do. I use them in the backdrop for like tombstones. All right, now I like to go over the accessories first. Again, this isn't going to take very long as I've already done that one. So here's what you're going to get with this. You're going to get 2 sets of hands. All right, now these are the open gripping hands. You're going to get 2 sets of fists. All right, you can see somewhat of the detail right there. All right, you can see where the fingers are. Here we have 2 trigger fingers. All right, which that's what I'll probably have on the majority of the time. And then on him, he has the thumb wrestling hands, except for his thumbs really aren't in the thumb wrestling position. Now, one of the things is when you're doing a translucent figure like this, and I've talked about it with all of them, from the Dracula, the Forgotten King, and also this eraser, you can't see all the detail because there's no paint to show it off. So, all right. So here we have a sheath. You can see the little button right there. Now, how it's going to be painted, no one really knows, but we've seen these ones right here, so we know exactly how well they do with it. And this is just going to plug right on in. We have his rifle. Here you can see that it has a scope on it. It has, I forget what this is called. It's not an iron sight, but it allows you to look through it. The scope can actually flip over, and a real one, you can look right through it. It's not a rail system. It does come with a suppressor. Make sure the suppressor is going on the right way. So it does have a suppressor on it. That one always has it on it. It's got a nice little stock. This is a gridiron weapon. It's noticeably known by the magazine because their magazines look very similar to this. They always have that piece. So I believe this is a gridiron. But you can see the grip here. You can see the trigger guard. I can't wait to see how this looks painted. It looks really good clear. And I think you can see it better through the clear than you can through the purple. But all in all, a nice looking weapon. We have the small pistol that they use. Again, you can see the trigger guard. You can see where the grip is. You can see the little rivets that kind of hold this together, and you can see some of the detail. I think this one you can actually see it better than what I remember when I did the purple review. Here is the larger pistol that he has. They all do have ports for blast effects. All right. And all the normal figures do come with blast effects. All right. So you can see the grip there, trigger guard, trigger right there. I actually think, I think the detail can be seen pretty well in this. I don't remember being able to see it that well over there on that one. There's this knife. This is sharp, so do not give it to a kid. All right, and you can see the detail there. Got the nice grip. So I can't wait to see when this is painted what it's going to look like. These are for his gloves. So when he's wearing gloves, you just put them around the wrists. It kind of hides. But I'm not sure why. I'm trying to remember why we have these, because the original guy doesn't have them, or the actual figure on there. And then we have the harness. Now I like the harness. I think this would actually look good on pretty much any figure. The purple, you can only use the purple, and there is a reason why I have that purple one on there, and I'll explain that in a second. All right. So for this one here, this actually holds. Boy. It holds this pistol, all right? Doesn't hold the big pistol, it just holds a small pistol, just like that. And then we have his goggles, all right? Now, these might work really good on some of the divers for the Joes. If they're doing training exercises, you want to do something like that, because they do kind of look like what you would get if you were in a swimming pool, training and different things like that, all right? They're very pliable, so you don't have to worry about it not fitting on the head, being very rigid, like some of the G.I. Joe stuff was. All right, now for the figure here, he has a different outfit or a different overlay than the other one will have, and we're going to look at it in a second. But my biggest gripe with this is, I'll show you here. So right now I have this piece on, the optically compromised one. All right, and the reason is this right here, these pouches, the knife that is integrated in, it is so thick and bulky that it gets in the way that you cannot aim a weapon. I know we had the same issue when it came to some of the early classifieds, maybe even some of the newer ones, but the difference with those is that it's the whole suit. This is one piece, and it really just makes it stick out. And this is real. I mean, again, it's big. It is really thick. Here, just to kind of show you, if you look at that and you look at the weapon, it's actually a little bit thicker than the weapon, and it just gets in the way because it's right there. This is one thing I wish they just kind of shaved that down. I don't know if it has to do with this plastic. I'm assuming it doesn't. And I'm assuming any type of overlay like this, you're going to have that problem. So if they could fix that, I'd be extremely happy. So, but now let's look at the figure really quick. As you can see, he is the Invisible Man, the Eraser. He is completely covered up, so you really can't see any detail. You can't see where the eyes are, but I think this really works awesome as an Invisible Man that's leaving some sort of silhouette, but it's going to be hard to see him. All right, you can see he's wearing that the normal suit. Now you can see everything through here. That's one issue with translucence. He does not have pin joints, but you can see exactly where the joints are going to be connected. All right, so going down to his shoulder, he does have a glove right here. Like a long glove. That's why I don't fully understand these. And maybe if I rewatched my other video, I kind of remember. But it's the same. There's no real detail. There's no watch or anything on them. All right. On this overlay, which I will be taking off, and I'll be using that same one there, you can see there's a knife here. All right. It is molded in there. You get these pouches right there, going all the way down. Here we have some pouches. And you can see the detail that they have put into it. So you can see the belt buckles right there. You can see the pouch buckles. So it does look really good. The problem is it just gets in the way. And this is meant to pull down so you can So you can put a backpack in there if need be. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this thing off right now, because I'm not going to use it. On the side here, we have a molded in holster, which is different than what they did there, and I'm perfectly fine with. I like what they're doing here, the way these plug in. The problem is it's not executed great. It's not executed the way I'd like it. The mushroom, I think, is too big. It pops in good, but it gets knocked off way too easy. But I love the idea of what they're trying to do. They just need to work on some of the execution. So anyway, here's your holster. You can see the buckles right here, just wraps right around the thighs. It doesn't really move, all right? You got the same knees that we've seen in a lot of these figures. So the buck is the exact same as you might imagine. This is the Declan feet, as there's no boot cut. Everything is underneath on the foot, all right? Now, as for the articulation, he can look down that much, and he can only look up that much. This is something that some of these companies classify as one of the biggest ones. They really need to work on getting their figures to look up better, especially for sniper poses. His head does. So, with these figures, the only thing that I don't like is once their neck comes off, it's harder to get their heads off. And I'm trying to think, and I think that this, yeah, that's as far as the neck's going to go back, even though there is a hinge right there. And I feel like I should be able to get it to go further back. I might have to heat that up and see. See, it goes up that far. It just gets, everything's in the way, unfortunately, all right? You can look down, look kind of side to side. There's their T-pose, no problem, no gaudy overhang right there. You can swivel right there, there's your bicep. Pinless at double elbows. Again, you can see where the pins should be. All right. He has the diaphragm cut, which people like. He can go that far back, and he can go that far over. He's also going to be on a ball joint system right down here, so he can swivel. Jean-Claude Van Damme, drop down hips. Okay, your thigh cut, pinless double knees, and then I already talked about no boot cut. Everything is done right here at the ankles. Now, this one doesn't twist as well as, let's say, Shipwreck does, but it's also not bad. This is the same type of cut that the Valaverse Desert Red has. It really does cause, I don't want to say cause issues, but it's harder to get them in dynamic poses because you don't have the boot cut and you don't have it underneath there. That's something I wish they would kind of rectify. All right. As for taking out the hands, because let's be honest, we want to put in the trigger fingers. At least I do. They come in and out really easily. All right. So this piece actually comes off. Oh, I guess if you wanted to put on, yeah, I'm still not sure what. I'm still not sure why. I mean, I know where it goes. It goes right up there, but I'm not sure why you'd want that. But the hands do come out really easily. There were a lot of people that had issues with the original figures, saying that they felt that the stem isn't long enough. These things fit perfectly fine. I haven't had one tend to fall out or anything, so I have no issues there. All right. So now we're going to throw this piece on, and they're just really easy to throw on, obviously. You know, the one problem with this is that there's no way to really get it to stay together. So it just kind of floats, but it's not the worst thing in the world. There's his goggles. So this can hide where his eyes are. Or you can put them up there, and again, it does look really, really nice. So, all right. I'll throw a pistol in here. Now, what is kind of funny is that they give you, this is really hard to see everything on here. Here's your sheath and your knife. All right. Thank you. You know, it's great to have. Oh, yeah. That's where it is. It plugs into this side. I think that's what we were looking for before. Because normally everything plugs into the side here. Well, they also do plug into the back too, but it plugs in the side here. I was trying to remember why they gave that. Here's his rifle. And again, this is exactly how... There's not too much to it. It's the same as that. I'm going to drop a link to that figure at the end of this. But you can only look at so much. I think there's more criticism that I had than what most people would have. I go over way more than others because I just am long-winded. But for the most part, these figures pose absolutely amazing. This one is very loose. It's also been in the 90s here. And if people don't know, translucent figures, glow-in-the-dark figures are normally softer. They usually use a softer type plastic. But here I can actually get them in a... I really got the camera in a bad spot. He's not standing that well. He seems loose. That I will admit, he does seem kind of loose. Not awful, but there's just a little bit I need to work on. But then you get a nice firing position, aiming right through it. But again, exact same figure as this one here. But at least the overlay will be different when we get the original or get the real one, which I'm real excited for. Those are the ones I'm more excited for. This is nice to have. It does add to the lore. I think this guy would be way better for photography when you have it on kind of walk through. Maybe people aren't noticing them. So anyway, there is your EDS Lieutenant Griffin, or Lieutenant Griffin, the Eraser. I'm looking at it right there. I should have read it better. Anyway, that is. There it is. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you have it. The JoeFest exclusive Operation Monster Force, the EDS, the Eraser. I think this one actually fits better than the purple. Somebody asked me, do you think that maybe they got the wrong color in and that's why they went with something different? I don't. That would be a huge screw up. I mean, I don't know how you get like a smoky color, smoky translucent and purple. Also, the way the packaging is written up, and even though it's just in a bag, there is writing all on it. It's completely different, and there's supposed to be two different ones. One was for Joelanta / Toylanta. I don't know what the difference is. One was for JoeFest. So anyway, there you go. I believe they're still going to have some of these available on BBTS. Like I said, I was at JoeFest, or maybe you could have asked somebody at JoeFest to get it. There are other ways to get it, I guess, but I don't beg and plead for anything. That's for other people to do. Anyway, there you go. Operation Monster Force. If you want it, pick it up. I gotta say, the first wave, first series, first season, whatever they want to call, were they perfect? No, but they were really excellent figures. A lot of fun. You can get them in great firing positions, great shooting positions, great fighting positions, and it's an awesome looking lore. So anyway, there you go. I'm gonna get out of here. But you stayed this long, please take a second. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. But please don't go anywhere. You're like, I need more Operation Monster Force. And you're damn right you do. And right up here, I'm gonna leave you that Phantom one over there, and right down here will be a playlist of all the Operation Monster Force stuff that I've done. Take care.